Three, two, one, and we're back with Tea and Tales. This is Flavio, and I'm with Sohrab today.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
We're back.
Sohrab was being shy earlier, and we have a special guest today. Someone who was very hard to get a hold of. He's so busy,
Very much.
and his name is Sathiesh. Hey, Sathiesh.
Hey, Flavio.
Hey Sathiesh, how are you going?
Yeah, not too bad.
There
Thanks.
was there was a little gap between our previous episode and this one due to various reasons. I hope everyone didn't miss us too much. But we're
Yeah,
back with an extra strong guest, so he's not nervous at all and he's fully prepared.
to be honest, before we started, we're just discussing that Satish was saying that he doesn't have loads of stories to tell, but I know for a fact, having spoken to Satish, loads of stories, both about moving to the UK, but I think you have some quite good stories, Satish, as well from India, like your. We can maybe discuss about the GPS story, using a laptop as a GPS. That's my favorite story from India, I think I've ever
That's
heard.
true.
But yeah, Satish, in terms of maybe if you want to give a little introduction about yourself and where you come from, just a little teaser about who you
All
are.
right. So I come from the south of India and from a state called Tamil Nadu. So yeah, I'm born, brought up in Tamil Nadu, which is, and the language which we speak in the state is Tamil. I did my schooling and everything in Tamil Nadu, schooling and my college. I did my college engineering from Chennai, which is the capital of the state. And after college, we have this concept called placement, right? So in the final year of our engineering college, we have this companies coming in and interviewing us and hiring people from the college directly into work. So I got placed into Infosys in my third year of my college. And so that's an interesting story in itself. I mean, if you have the time to really talk about it.
Infosys is a massive company, so that's pretty cool that you got in. How was that?
Rishi Sunak was getting some money from that.
yeah.
What's the interesting story behind that one, then, Satish?
Drawn from Infosys to UK at that time, so I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I basically dreamed to be a software engineer from my very young age. I mean, I was more into gaming and music and all of that stuff, and I was too keen into software engineering. But eventually, when I chose my course in engineering, I chose electronics because that was one of the most good courses at that time. So it was like, it's a pride to get into electronics and communications. And so, my family were quite keen for me to get into electronics so that I get the opportunity to go work anywhere I have and stuff. So, but it's one of the most toughest courses in engineering in India.
Does it have a little bit of computer science in it?
Yeah, there's very limited. Yeah, maybe in your third year and the final year of the course, there are a couple of there's this thing about networking, and there's this a couple of small programming courses as well that comes in electronics. Yeah, so it was very difficult for me because it was not my area of interest. So I used to score rank really high in all of those computer science subjects, but then bottom mark pass subjects. And so when in my third year of my college, so which is when all of the people are looking forward for companies to come and hire them, and they're all prepared for it. But I had one backlog. We call it arrears, right? So as in I flunked in one of the courses in my probably in my
surprised from you.
first semester of my final year, right? So I was not eligible for to attend any of the interviews, right? So any company that comes in will say 60% aggregate. So that's the default criteria to become eligible for attending any of these interviews. So I had literally lost hopes that anybody is going to even I'm going to even be eligible for any of those interviews. And so I literally left Chennai, went to my aunt's place in Coimbatore for a vacation, thinking that nobody's going to ever call me for any interview. So why waste time sitting in Chennai? So I went for, having some good time with my aunt's place and stuff. And then one fine day, suddenly one of my friends called and said, you know what, Infosys, you've been qualified for an interview with Infosys. Right. So because that was the only company, which was actually the 17th company which came to my college. Right. But that was the first company that said 60% aggregate, but one standing arrear is allowed. But you need to clear it before you join.
How did your friend know? Did he just see the criteria and think, oh, Satish?
No. So they always publish a list of people who become eligible for when a new company comes. They publish in the notice board saying these are the people who can attend this company. So he lived in Chennai, and he saw my name on it. And so he called me and said, you qualified, and then you should come back to Chennai immediately to attend this interview. So then
That's
I,
interesting.
yeah, it was just in 2 days after the interview was going to happen. So then I came from Coimbatore to Chennai. And yeah, so then I didn't have any hopes. I mean, they used to ask me this. The interview pattern for Infosys was that they had this first round, which was puzzle,
Yeah.
and then you clear the puzzle, and then you go into the final round, which is HR, and then you clear both, and then you basically get the offer. So I didn't even prepare for any puzzle. I had no idea what puzzle is. All of that, right? So it's quite a complex subject. Then I came in and I met some of my friends there who helped me prepare for the interview and stuff. Then eventually cleared, and so that's how I got into Infosys.
And what was the puzzle that you had to solve?
There were quite a few. They give you 10 puzzles basically,
Okay.
and they give you a time before which you need to clear. So maybe I was fortunate that I only prepared a few set in the limited time that I had, but most of them were similar to what I had prepared.
Yeah.
So it's also interesting that they don't really look for you to give the perfect answer, but rather how you approach the problem, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
so I literally, in a puzzle question, I literally used to explain everything, my entire thought process. Okay, this is how I managed to get to this answer. It could be totally incorrect, but it is that the path you take to solve the problem is what they
Right.
primarily look for. So maybe something like that worked well. So I
Is
cleared
it
it.
is it like a I mean, it sounds like India is a proper in UK, right? I've been to a careers fair where you
Mhm.
go and different companies are there and you can speak to them. Maybe you
Yeah.
can set up an interview. But I feel like in India,
Yeah.
right, it feels like it's really like a pipeline, right? As in, they have access. The Infosys had access to your grades and everything, so they could publish a list saying that you can. I guess you gave permission to be on the list in the first place.
No, yeah. So there's we have this dedicated people, right? So they call the placement officers who
Mm.
basically go talk to all of these companies, saying that we have some qualified engineers from our college. Probably you would want to hire them. And some of the colleges basically have made a historic, performance. They've been ranked, right? So all of our colleges come under a university called Anna University. So Anna University publishes a rank for every college depending on the performance of all of their students every year. So depending on what rank your college is in, then when the placement officers approach these companies, they look at the performance of your college and then say, okay, yeah, if you're in top 50, then I'm happy to come in and hire from some people from your
Yeah.
college. And
Pretty.
so that's how it happens. But
How
it's very limited. There's only limited colleges who get that privilege. But majority of the colleges, like Flavio said, you will have to come out, clear your course, and then go into job fairs, then get into companies, right?
my only point of reference is the movie Three Idiots of the
Mhm.
Indian college system. How similar is it to that? I love that movie, by the way. It's definitely a watch.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, Three Idiots, kind of aligns to the top 10 colleges and top 10 universities. They typically to what is there in the movie, but not every college. My college was no way close to what the movie was. We were quite relaxed, and there's no strict rules. Just had a lot of fun in college. Yeah,
Okay, that's good to
but,
hear.
but when you go into those the top ranked colleges and the universities, then you would definitely see what is there in the movie.
It gets crazy.
And
Yeah,
what
so it's a lot.
in terms of like coming to UK? I mean, you always worked for sort of international companies, right?
Mhm.
Was that always an idea for you to come to London? Like, what was your? I mean,
Inspiration.
how did that happen? How did you fall into this idea?
Yeah, I was really not curious to move out abroad. I was happy with what I was doing in India and happy with everything there. But then at some point, I almost worked, and after Infosys, I worked in another company where I was working for Cardient, and then I moved to Pega. I spent almost close to 14 to 15 years working on the technology side. So at
Mm.
some point, I thought, I should probably work closer to clients, understand how the businesses are run, how the enterprise is running, how the software is being utilized by these enterprises. I was more close to technology, but I wasn't close to the business side of things, right? So
Right.
at some point I felt, I think we spent enough time close to technology. Maybe I should explore the other side of the globe. And then when I looked at the opportunities within India, although you get to go into consulting, work in services, work for clients within India, but then you really don't get too close to where the decisions are being made, right? So you've been told to do something, you're just doing it because somebody told you to do. but you don't get this opportunity to go work close to the business, have direct interactions with the stakeholders who make the decisions,
So
and how the decisions are made, how the software is impacting their end clients. All of those visibility is not much in India. So which is when I thought maybe I should now move out and look for opportunities in the UK, in the US or in the UK. So
Was the UK your first option, or did it kind of come together in some way?
I mean, yeah, I think obviously the first option was the US.
Okay.
why is I
Quickly
mean,
call home office.
yeah, what's the reason? Yeah, let's call Rishid. Get you
Yeah, Rishi.
this is strike one in the podcast.
No, so the reason behind it, it's again the reason behind that is that all of the time that I've worked
Yeah.
in India, my counterparts have always been in the US,
In
right? So
US,
I've been
yeah.
working with people mostly from US, right? So it's hardly very limited people from a technology side that I've worked in the UK. In my experience, at least in my personal experience, must have been different for different people. But for me, my other teams were all US based, so I've had a lot of interactions with them. So I have had some connects with people. So I know if I go to US, I know some people there,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing which made me think probably I should go to US. But when I started speaking to people about opportunities apart from US, then yeah, so the most obvious choice was UK. Otherwise, if not for the US,
And you have some family living in the UK as well.
yeah. So then yeah, my brother was in the UK, so he kind of persuaded me to
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
so he said it'd be nice for me to be here as well. So then it happened. Yeah.
Because you lived in like a super like what city did you live in? Did you live in Bangalore or Chennai or which
Yeah,
one?
yeah. So I lived most of my working life in Bangalore.
And that's I don't think that's like London, but that's like a mega city, right? Super busy.
Yeah, yeah,
Super.
yeah.
So I
Where,
guess
Yeah, I
where,
mean,
where in India is Bangalore? Is it
uh,
also in Tamil Nadu or?
yeah, it's one of the South Indian states called Karnataka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Karnataka is a state from in which Bangalore is. Bangalore is the capital of the state of Karnataka.
Okay.
So and it's neighboring state to Tamil Nadu. So yeah, most people in Tamil Nadu either work in Chennai or in Bangalore. I mean, if you're in IT, those are the two primary
Yeah,
places.
yeah,
And yeah, and Hyderabad as well. So those are the three hubs: Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. And Bangalore is essentially the hub for IT, information technology, which is what is called otherwise called the Silicon Valley of India, right? So
yeah.
it is known
It's
for IT.
fascinating how usually, at least from outsiders' perspective, and maybe even tourism, you don't really think of like when you think India, you think Mumbai, you think New Delhi, all of those places, but actually there's a huge uh,
diversity.
space, yeah, diversity in South India as well,
Yeah,
and lots to see as well.
yeah. I mean, they're beautiful places as well. I
Yeah.
mean, all of the beauty. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it is very diverse, and then you have a lot of tourist destinations down south as well. There's a lot more on the north because you have all of the famous destinations like the Himalayas and Everest and all
Right.
of those places coming in the north. But there are some nice, interesting hill stations in the south as well, which are very pretty beautiful. And I mean, it's spread across all of the states. I mean, there are a few in Tamil Nadu, there are a few in Karnataka, there are a few in Kerala.
Mm.
Uh, they are also very diverse in the terms of tourism as well. Yeah.
Did you travel a lot within India as well? Then, Satish, like before moving over, did you check out all of India, or are you still going back
Uh,
and doing some tours?
no, I mean India is quite huge and vast, right? As you know,
Yeah.
so and
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't cover everything in in the lifetime. But yeah, I've been across India. So for work, so I've been to I worked for almost 6 months in a place called Gurgaon, which is close to New Delhi.
Okay.
So and then I've also worked for a few months in Chandigarh, again in the north of India.
Oh wow.
I've
Okay.
been, I've been to Guwahati, a state close to Calcutta. I mean, in the northeast of India.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are all beautiful places as well. Yeah, but there's quite a lot to cover.
What's your top three places
Yeah,
in?
I was going to ask.
Where you can go, Saurabh? Saurabh is
Sorry.
writing notes about where to go on holiday now.
Yeah, exactly. Top three places, and then maybe if you could narrow it to like South India, because as you said, a lot of the historical places are in North India, but
Yeah.
some cool stuff in South India too.
We don't
as
want to
well.
do any North India promotion in this. We're not sponsored.
Yeah, we already had one.
This episode.
Yeah, in the south there are quite a lot. I mean, my most favorite tourist destination is Kerala, right? Any place in Kerala, there's just a lot of beautiful places, and specifically this backwater types, right? You get places like Alapura, close to Cochin. Cochin is again one of the most prominent cities in the south of India, which is in Kerala, in the state of Kerala, which is where there's a and so from Cochin, you have nice connectivities to places like Alapura and Kozhikode and places like that, where you get this huge backwaters and you have this houseboats, right? So where you get and stay in houseboat for 3 days. That was one of my best, all-time favorite vacations I've had. So I've had almost 3 days living in a houseboat. You just go to different places. You get down and then stay in a resort for a night, and then hop back into the houseboat for the next day.
Yeah, that was
It's
cool.
like a mini cruise ship.
Yeah.
Personal.
So yeah, correct. So you could, they'll take you to places where you could actually just buy some food like fish, different types of fish, and then give it to the guys in the houseboat. They will cook it for you.
No
Then you can just
way.
give it to them. They will cook fresh, authentic Kerala style fish and stuff. So that was one of the best vacations I've had. So that's one. I'd say number one is that. And the second one is, I mean, obviously there are the two hill stations in Tamil Nadu.
Satish,
called
sorry. What is when you say hill station? What do you mean? Just an actual hillside? Yeah, a hill town, or what is that?
Yeah. So it is. Okay. I mean, there are. I mean, yeah. So there's a place called Ooty. Maybe if I explain you, maybe then you'll get it. So it is a town which is basically on a hill, right? Hill as in a mountain range, right? A huge mountain range. It's about 4,000 foot above the ground level, sort of hills, right? So they're
Yeah.
very tall, so not like the ones in the UK where you just almost looks pretty close to your city, but they're quite very tall mountain ranges.
Yeah.
And then you get, I mean, so the basic idea or the reason why these hill stations are very famous is because of the weather, right? So generally it's quite warm and hot in the cities and the towns that you generally are living. Like, I mean, close to Chennai and places around Chennai or Bangalore are pretty warm. So, but then the hill stations, because of their altitude, so they're very cold. So people generally take their vacations, go into the hill stations, stay there for a few days, and so you have all of these tea estates, coffee estates, all of these beautiful places, and the foggy mountain ranges. And they're beautiful resorts. You go there, you have your homestays options and the resorts. They're very beautiful. So you go there, stay there for a week or so, and
you can get there. I'm assuming since you're calling it station, there's trains going there.
No, you basically take a car. I mean, pass for a car. No train. So we call it. I don't know why they call it really a station, but hill station.
Hill stops.
So you drive up there, right? So it takes a few hours.
In Tamil Nadu, right?
Yeah. So these two, I mean, there are two called Ooty and Kodaikanal. They call the twin mountains, and so the Queen of Hills is called Ooty. Is called the Queen of Hills.
Ooty,
okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So Ooty is one of the most famous destinations. I mean, all of the people from South India, if they want to go to a hill station, I mean, yeah, hilltop or whatever Sohrab calls it. Yeah.
Let's not change the names now.
So Kerala, then Ooty, and then if you have one more that you've been to, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, there are places in Karnataka as well. The forest ranges in Karnataka, actually.
So that's the state. Karnataka is north of Tamil Nadu, right? Or north of
Tamil Nadu.
North,
just
right?
north of Tamil Nadu. So there is this place called Bandipur and Kabini. These are like reservoirs. They are water reservoirs, but then in the deep, they are in the forest ranges, right? So you drive through the forest range to get to these places, and they have this huge water sources there. So you basically, the reason why these places are famous is because there's a lot of animals, wild animals, they come into these places because of the abundance of water there. And so they build a lot of so basically it's more both thrilling, because you go through forest and then you encounter a lot of wild animals on route to these places. And while you're living there as well, you're in the nice cottages as well, you will always, when you wake up in the morning, you would basically see a herd of elephants passing through, or or a wild boar, whatever, right? So all of these wild animals that crosses your restaurants, they make sure that they are all safe places to live.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
you get to see these things, so people also enjoy in a staying places
Because
like
I was going to ask him. In South India, Sri Lanka, these kind of places, or India in general, it's Indian subcontinent. I wonder what kind of safety features there are there. They give you a gun before you go in. It's just
You're talking about the safety of humans or safety of the animals,
Yeah, I think probably they care more about the safety of the animals
yeah,
than the humans.
don't eat it.
Yeah, don't look at the animals. Just let them live.
Fair enough. So
It's
these are
it's fascinating. Like all the places that you've mentioned just now, I've had never heard of these places.
Okay,
Yeah. What about you, Flavio? Have you?
well. I'll give you a fun fact. My great, 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 maybe one more great grandfather is from Kerala, actually.
No.
Yeah. So
really.
basically, back in whenever that is, so Sri Lanka is a Portuguese colony, and I think Kerala probably is Kerala. Kerala, I guess Kerala
Yeah,
also is probably it
I
is,
think so.
right. Yeah.
I
So
think so.
basically, I guess missionaries almost. So people from Kerala,
Yeah.
they moved to Sri Lanka to build churches. Obviously, got distracted when he got there, but they came over to build churches from Kerala to Sri Lanka. So I think
Oh.
the cultures between Sri Lanka and Kerala, I heard they're very similar.
Probably, they both have similar
Tropical.
landscape as well. A lot of coconut
Yes.
trees, and the
Yeah,
backwaters and all that stuff. I think yeah, there's a lot of similarities between.
yeah. I
And
think
the colonial past is the same as well. I think it's Portugal, then Dutch, and then the English.
yeah. Did they have the Dutch as well in
Yeah.
Kerala? Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
In Tamil Nadu, you have some place like a French colony, right? That's always one that confused me.
Yeah. Pondicherry. Pondicherry is a French colony. It is. Yeah, I don't know how that
I had,
happened, but
I
How
had
the French
people
ended up there.
I had people go there to sort of get contraband, get cheap alcohol, or is that true, or how does it work?
it is true. It is true. Absolutely true. I think the
You done
taxes
it.
on all in Pondicherry is very, very less.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you want to buy liquor at very less price, so then it is actually bordering to the city of Chennai, right? So from Chennai, it's about 40 kilometers into Pondicherry.
Which
Ah,
So
in India, that's
yeah,
like in India, that's
it's a
like
bit
equivalent of 1 kilometer in the UK, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
the way you deal with miles. So just 40
yeah. So
kilometers from Chennai.
40 kilometers from Chennai to 40, yeah, between 40 to 50 kilometers from Chennai to Pondicherry. And so they speak Tamil there as well, but it is a French colony. And so people go there for beaches. There are beautiful beaches in
Okay.
Pondicherry. So a lot of people go into Pondicherry for beaches. A lot of foreign tourists come into Pondicherry for the beaches, and for cheap alcohol maybe.
Okay. In terms of the East Coast and the West Coast of India, which side that has the kind of the best beaches
Mm.
out of the two?
By the way, this guy Saurabh is asking for himself, not
Yeah, I am.
not for anyone listening to this.
Okay, basically, this episode is me planning my holiday to South
Yeah, I
India.
think he's got a map next to him.
Sounds amazing.
Okay, from a coastal perspective, I don't maybe I'm not too familiar with it, but from a places around this, I'd say you have places like this. Chennai is on the east coast,
Yeah.
and Chennai and Pondicherry is on the east coast, and you have Goa on the west coast,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
So if you ask me where Pondicherry versus Goa, any days Goa is a better
Oh, really?
tourist destination. As in, I wouldn't say better, but then you get a lot of variety in Goa.
Yes.
You have a lot of different beaches, because it's much bigger than Pondicherry, and you have a lot of beaches and the diversity and the lifestyle in Goa is also different from how it is in Pondicherry. So, yeah, I mean, culturally it is very, very, very different between Pondicherry and Goa. So, but both on the coast, yeah, and
So they're the kind of equivalent of each other, Goa and Pondicherry.
yeah, probably yes,
Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah,
there are other
Goa.
places. If you go slightly, north of Pondicherry, I mean, probably, yeah, like I said, I'm not too familiar. Maybe Vaisha, I mean Vishakhapatnam, and there are other coastal areas, and you get into Orissa on the coast, and
Yeah.
there probably other places, but I've not really explored those places, so I probably am not really qualified to say if there's anything better than Goa on the east side. But generally, I've been to Goa. So I've been to Goa at least 5 times.
Oh,
So
nice.
I really like it. Yeah,
Is
I
that a
really
place
like
where you will go with your guy
friends.
friends to chill
So
and
yeah,
chill
so
and drink
yeah,
and
that's our every year we have this pact with 10 of our friends that every year just the guys will go to Goa during the month of December or January. So we've done that close to 5 years.
oh wow, okay.
Before I moved to UK, which is when it stopped. So
Did you do it? Did you do it when you got married? I mean, is that something you missed about being in India, doing this kind of road trips, or things have changed? You got married, I guess. Your life has changed as well, right? So,
no, we did this after I got married. So the
oh, after
first
you
time
got,
when
no,
we
there you
were
go then. No
talking,
excuse.
the first time when we all went together to Goa was my bachelor's party, right? So and that is the time we did this pact that every year we should come to Goa, the same set of people, and then we managed to do that for next 4 years. All of us were married, in fact. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely certainly missed that trip.
Yeah.
Uh, it's one of the things that I definitely miss.
What kind of things do you miss from? I guess a lot of your friends probably are international as well, right? But you still have a lot of friends back home as well.
Yeah,
So,
correct. Yeah. Some of them actually, after I moved, they also moved to different places. Some of them moved to Australia, and some of them moved to the US. But some of them are still in India, and the people who are still in India, they still make sure they go to Goa trip every year. So
uh,
they go there and then send me pictures on WhatsApp and everything,
Oh,
which
no
is
way.
this is what you're missing out on.
Just missing out.
You, you think
yeah.
you'll go this Christmas and join them again?
Yeah, maybe if I know ahead of time when I'm going, so maybe I'll make sure that this time we go when I'm there in India. But otherwise, yeah, that's something that I miss. I mean, the close company that I had. I mean, those are friends that have had for more than 10 years together. So you just plan, and then all of them just say yes, whatever for your plan is, and then we all go to get together.
Yeah,
That's one thing I miss, and then the food, right? So
of
food is
course.
another important thing I miss from
But
India.
what's how different is first of all South Indian food from North Indian food, and then have you found anywhere in London? I guess homemade food, obviously, but other than that, any food places in London that are similar?
Uh, no, I mean some, yeah. I mean between South and North, yeah, definitely the food is very different.
Okay.
I mean, I think the South Indian food is more spicier than the North Indian food.
Ah,
The Indian food is more butter and yeah stuff, but yeah, South Indian food is more chili and
Let's
more
more chill.
spices. So yeah, so that's a major difference. But otherwise, there's certain food from North Indian dishes as well, which I like, really really nice and stuff. But so from the food in London itself, I've not really explored too many Indian restaurants in London, but in the place where I live, which is Reading, yeah, so there's lots of Indian food, which was one of the main reasons why I still live here.
okay.
When you moved to London and you moved
Mhm.
to, I guess, Reading, was community a big reason? Did you look for somewhere where there's a bigger Tamil community or close to? I mean, where? What was your motivation? I guess to move.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, certainly three things, right? So and the first thing close to where my brother lives, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Point number one. And so my brother lives just 25 minutes from here on car, so from Reading. So that was one of the reasons. Second thing was, yes, the Indian community and the food. So there's a lot of Indian restaurants around here, and a lot of community people. I mean, yeah, Indian community around here. Not just Tamil, but yeah, there's quite a variety of people here. There's a lot of North Indian people here, and then even within South, we have people from Karnataka, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu. All of us living here, so that's a nice community around here.
Mm.
And the third thing was connectivity to London. So Reading has one of the largest stations, train stations, and so I get a train every 5 minutes from here to London. So those are the three things. And Reading perfectly fit all those
Okay.
definitions.
Go to Reading. If you're looking for
Yeah.
those three things. If you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to see Satish's brother, that's where you have to go to.
I guess it makes sense, especially with your brother being close by. If you're gonna move, halfway around the world, you might as well go close to family wherever
Yes,
you
yeah,
are.
absolutely. And another most important thing being close to my brother is because he's two young kids, right? So, and this is the best time to spend a lot of time with them. After a few years, they wouldn't even care, even if we go to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
just get away from me is what they will hear, right? So this is the time where they really like spending time with you, and vice versa. So we want to spend more time with the kids
Oh,
right
man.
now while they're at this age, they're growing up. So yeah,
You're
so
still cool uncle before you become old uncle.
yeah, of course.
Satish, all these cultures you mentioned, like you said you have Tamilian, Andhra people from Telugu, I guess. Do you guys all mingle together when you're abroad? As in, are the cultures similar enough that you have similar festivities? I know you got like Pongal. Maybe I don't know if it's just a Tamil thing. I know in Sri Lanka, in South India, you have similar festivals. But do you guys
Yeah.
get together in any places, or the language is too different that you just high and by? Like, how does it? What's
No,
the
no, yeah. I mean,
what's the part?
no. So for me, right? So what happened is, I although I was born and brought up in Tamil Nadu,
Yeah.
my native language is Telugu, right? So
Uh,
Telugu is the language that I speak at home. But I studied in schools in Tamil Nadu, so I speak Tamil as well. And then I lived close to 11, maybe 12 years in Bangalore, which is in the state of Karnataka. So I speak Kannada as well. So I kind of speak most of the South Indian languages, and so for me it is easy. I mean, I for me, I generally see any South Indian people, I get connected to them pretty easily because I speak all of their
Okay.
languages. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
get along very well with most of the people here, irrespective of which state they come from. But I mean, from a diversity perspective as well, like you said, Flavio, most of the festivals are pretty much aligned to each other. The timings of the festivals, probably there's some slight variations to how they celebrate it. So it's Pongal is Pongal in Tamil Nadu, Shankranti in Andhra, and a similar thing in Karnataka. But they all celebrate a harvest festival in their own form of this thing, depending on which state they come from. But they all celebrate together, and that's festivals like Diwali and stuff. There where all of us celebrate it together. It's a common festival for the whole of India. So from a festival perspective and the diversity perspective, there's only very slight differences, but then most of it is pretty much aligned to each of the states. So we celebrate Pongal here, all of the Tamil community together,
Yeah.
and around the same time, all of the Andhra Telugu community as well, they celebrate their festival. So we actually go participate in each other's festivals.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So a
That's
lot of
quite
my Telugu friends come and join me for the Tamil New Year celebrations that we do, and I go participate in the Telugu, the Shankranti Pongal festival that the Telugu people celebrate. I go join in their community festivals as well. So we actually participate in each other's festivals. So there's no real boundary or
Difference.
this
Yeah.
thing that we yeah it
Sorry.
is quite.
Yeah. So I mean, sorry. Do you have Nowruz? Is that aligned with these Indian festivals as well in any way? I mean, it's still like a harvest. It's like a spring
Yeah,
festival.
exactly. I think the harvest festivals, no matter the religion or location, uh, every year around harvest time, it's a big celebration for everyone. So it's different names, but yeah, Nowruz is one of them for us. So our whole year is based around the Persian New Year.
When is the
But like,
when is your one? Sorry, sorry. Was that a few weeks ago?
yeah, it's on the every year, depending. It depends on the summer equinox. So whenever it is, around the 20th of April, it's every year. So they determine it. So they basically, what they do is a week or 5 days beforehand, they look at the alignment of the stars, and at some point they announce and say this is the day, and then you're like, okay, now it's when Eid starts. We
Oh,
also call it Eid, by the way, which is different from the Ramadan Eid as well.
Oh, you call Eid as well. Very nice.
Eid and Nowruz.
Cool.
I'm sure if all the Persians listening will correct me and tell me I'm wrong, but yeah. What about Sri Lanka? I swear, just this year's one. You said there was something similar.
We have Sri Lankan New Year, which was last month. Again, I think that's to do. Actually, look it up. I should remember. That's the Sri Lankan. Yeah. I think. You know what? I think it is. It is also. I'm just cheating today. We're actually doing the podcast remotely, but I'm on the Wikipedia page, and there's a big section that says Harvest Festival. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
For farming community, the traditional year is a festival of harvest. So it's all aligned.
Yeah, no, it's for I just looked it up as well. So might as well. The Nowruz is spring equinox. Yeah.
All right. Maybe Sathiesh, you can organize a giant mega party. Any harvest festival, right? It can be
bring all the farmers together.
Bring them all together. You can stop World War III from happening if you do that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So now that you've ended up in London, Sathiesh, obviously there's such a huge difference between living in India and coming to London. You've chosen Reading as a point of or as your station, hill station, let's say. But what have you found in London that is so unique to it and kind of learned from being and living in London?
Okay.
And how have you adapted? Obviously, you're a city boy, so
yeah. I mean, I think the biggest difference I see is the infrastructure. Right, while the infrastructure in India as well is no less, but in cities like Bangalore and Chennai, I think it is quite crowded. Right, I mean, more populated and it's not. I mean, while they make the best efforts to keep it right, but then because of the varied seasons and stuff, the infrastructure gets quite deteriorated quite quickly than it is in general. So, so I mean, the connectivity between, if I have to go anywhere, and I just don't have to really, plan on how I'm going to get there. I just go to the station. I will find some means for me to get to where I want to get to, right? Yeah, so that's a big difference. Right. So, I mean, while there are buses, train connectivities even within Bangalore, but within the city itself, there's not much, right? You'll have to either take a bus, and it's just basically that because of the traffic and stuff, it takes longer than what you'd originally planned for. And so the train, the underground, the metro connectivity here is a big difference. But if you look at cities like Chennai and Bangalore, and in the recent times, they have made so much advancements in transportation that they have also got a lot of metro lines, being implemented and stuff. There's being connected all around. Delhi had metro connectivity from a very, very long time, so similar to what we have in London, I would say. But not all of the cities in India have similar kind of.
It's a massive country, right? India, so it's right. Not the same. If you leave London, the connectivity deteriorates just like the rest of the world. So it's not just India. It's just
exactly. True, absolutely true. Right. So so the connectivity within London itself is so good, but then when you come out, but that's a large difference, right? So in India, getting to different places from a city to city or town to town is much more easier, I would say. Right. You have this ultra luxury transport system that connects all of the different states and bigger cities, like going to Chennai to Bangalore, or Bangalore to Hyderabad. You have brilliant connectivity, but within the city itself, on your day-to-day experience, right? So it is a bit of a struggle because like I said, right? So not very well maintained infrastructure, plus because of the traffic jams and stuff. So that's one big difference I see. And
what about maybe the food and the culture and the pop culture as well?
Yeah, we're talking about pop culture.
So I come from Bangalore, and the pop culture is no different, right? So we have brilliant breweries and amazing pubs in
Wow.
Bangalore as well. So yeah, I mean it is. I'd say, I mean, I've not found any difference between Bangalore and from a pop culture perspective. I mean, maybe it is different between Chennai and other places, but
Yeah.
Bangalore is quite good. I mean, they have a lot of nice restaurants and nice breweries, and you get a lot of variety of in the pubs and stuff. So it is good. And Bangalore, the thing is, because of it being a IT hub, you get people from all over India coming into Bangalore
Mm.
specifically. There's this. You will see a diverse set of population in Bangalore. They need to make sure that they cater to all of this diverse set of
Yeah.
people within single city. So you get a lot of variety of options. You name it. You want Chinese, Thai, North Indian, South Indian. You get everything in Bangalore. So from that way, it is really good in Bangalore as well, and as good as I mean, I'm sure as good as London, but then yeah, they have it really good.
No, it
But
sounds really good, especially when I guess the weather in Bangalore is made for a nice cold beer, whereas sometimes UK weather is not great.
yeah, true. It really works well there. In fact,
Yeah.
yeah.
What,
But then
what,
yeah, but then yeah. So food is one of the major things like that I miss, right?
yeah.
Like I said, so although there are options here, but they're very limited. It's like you go have it and say, okay, at least I've got this, right? So that's the kind
Okay.
of feeling that you come home
Okay.
better than nothing.
And
you know,
I guess maybe in terms of food, Satish, obviously London is very diverse in terms of the availability of different types of food. Is there like new cuisine you tried, or is that as well in Bangalore very diverse city? Or have you tried maybe even pop food? Have you tried pop food? What do you
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
keep to it?
No. So in Bangalore, yeah. I mean, I am just the person who really doesn't take. I mean, I don't really try too many options when it comes to
Okay.
food. I
Yeah.
am very often take. I basically am. Even if I go to, maybe you leave me in the middle of a forest or a
You make a dosa somehow.
some dosa, right? So I'm that person who can live with dosa sambar for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
I
Amazing.
don't try too many options, but then there are options, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
in London as well, we recently went to
Malaysian.
a Malaysian restaurant, right? So it
Yeah.
was brilliant. I mean, that was the first time I've ever tried Malaysian food, and
Okay.
I was really pleasantly surprised with the taste and the variety of food that we had. It was really brilliant. So it kind of starts to make me think that I should probably open up and try other cuisine as well, right? So, but generally, I am quite restricted to South Indian food. I literally travel 2.5 hours on a weekday just to go have a biryani from all the way from Reading to East Ham to
Where do
just
you
have a nice
give us
biryani.
some
Yeah,
names
give us like
of
top three places.
if you travel 2 hours, it must be good.
Yeah, yeah, it is brilliant. I mean, I enjoy the food. I mean, there's a place called Anjappar in East Ham.
Anjapur.
Yep.
Yeah, Anjappar.
Sorry, I was googling
It
it.
is it is a nice South Indian restaurant,
Wow.
and you get all types of biryanis, right? So you get your mutton biryani, chicken biryani, and the most my special dish from there is something called as kottu paratha, chicken kottu paratha,
Oh, that's
right?
Kotu
Okay.
is Sri Lankan.
Yeah, it's there in Sri Lanka as well, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's so barota is actually there different types of. There's a Sri Lankan barota as well, and there's an
Yeah.
Indian style of barota as well. That you get both, in fact, if you go to that restaurant. And it's called the chicken kottu barota. That's my most favorite dish from there. So we
It,
literally weekly, I mean every week at least once, there's a few more friends of mine who live nearby here in Reading, so who are also similar fans of biryani like me. So we actually make sure once a week we take a drive all the way to
so
East
you,
Ham,
so you
and
you swapped out Goa for
I
biryani.
was going to say, yeah, yeah.
We made
You
a
love
pact.
your road trips.
yeah,
Is it Anchapar Chettinad? Is this the place?
yeah, and but Chettinad's restaurant, yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. I got
That's
Bro,
the one.
I already found it.
Sohrab was already
Basically,
making
the plan
bookings.
is the plan is I will one day get on the district line from Richmond, and as I pass Blackfriars, you get on, and then we go all the way to the end stop of District Line, and that's where it is.
Satish, you join us.
Yeah,
You take the.
Yeah, we should definitely ride sometime. I'd be really happy to take you guys there.
Maybe
I can.
Does your train go from Reading to Blackfriars or London Bridge?
No, it's Elizabeth, right?
Yeah, if I take Elizabeth, it goes all the way to Liverpool Street. I guess that's the last stop on the Elizabeth line.
I'm sure you can jump on that District Line somehow.
Yeah, from Liverpool.
Yeah, District Line. From Paddington, right? So Paddington is the closest best station for us. So if we get into Paddington, then from there we could take the District Line.
All right, so maybe next week we go to this restaurant.
All right, I'm hungry, so let's do it. Is it nice and spicy? I love spicy food. So
it is nice and spicy. Yeah, it is really spicy.
Oh God.
Oh God. Any other recommendations you have?
Other recommendation is in Reading we actually have. I mean, from vegetarian food, pure vegetarian food. There's a place called Madras Flavors in Reading. This is again my second best option.
Madras Flavors.
Madras Flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, found it. That's it. You know, being on doing this virtually has helped me nail down all the things quickly. I Google and make plans instantly.
I'll become a guide for you.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Now, number 3, Sathiesh. What's number 3?
Number 3 is Wembley. Wembley, there's a restaurant called Madras. Yeah, so that's number 3 option, I'd say.
I think we need to decide where we go to eat next time. We were talking about Wembley, but maybe we can go.
We need to go East Ham. If Sathiesh drives 2.5 hours to East Ham,
it must be good.
It must be good.
Yeah, it is good.
And I've heard really good things about mutton biryani. Apparently, it is very good. I've never tried it. I saw a guy.
Mutton. I'm sure this is the story somehow, but when I went to Hyderabad, they were saying that the mutton biryani was almost something that was brought. Is it something that was brought maybe from? There were some Persian kings who are living in.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so originally, so that's why mutton biryani is the most famous biryani in the whole of India, right? So there are different flavors of biryani. So there's biryanis from Tamil Nadu, there are biryanis from North as well, and there's biryanis from Hyderabad. Hyderabad biryani is one of the most popular biryanis in the whole of India, and that's basically came from the Persian or Mughal rulers that ruled Hyderabad from a very long time ago.
Because the Sohrab's mom, but Afghan people, sorry, but that's number 1. I mean, it's also when you make the lamb in rice, it's also, I think it's kind of a similar. It's because in biryani you cook the meat with the rice, right, Sathiesh? Kind of.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar, right? So up to what you're.
Yeah, I mean, Persian/Afghan food, we have a lot of lamb and mutton. It's one of our staple meats. So, yeah, this is why I was so excited to hear about mutton biryani. I really want to try it.
Let's check that place out. We're making dinner plans on the
yeah. Actually, I think this is a good place to wrap up.
You reminded me of Anjapur. I'm feeling hungry now.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect place to wrap up.
Yeah. So Sathiesh, last question. You were saying, coming out with us, I guess your colleagues, is exposed you to more things. Do you think, even though Bangalore is a metropolitan city, the fact that you're in London, you hang out with more non-Indian cultures, do you think that's kind of expanded your horizon quite a lot? As in your
of course. I mean, certainly did. Yeah. So like the one the Malaysian restaurant we just discussed, and I went with Flavio and another friend to a Italian restaurant. Right, that was the first place that we went. I've never tried. I mean, I probably have tried a flavor of an Italian food in Bangalore a long time ago, but then I've never tried afterwards. Right, so that was a place that I went after a long. I mean, probably I would say that was my first experience of an Italian food, right? And I was like blown away with the taste of the food as well. So which is when we decided that from the next time, Flavio needs to make sure that I don't go to an Indian restaurant anymore. And anytime that he needs to force me into any other food, right? Because unless I've tried myself, I wouldn't. And this is the best place. I'm in the best place where I get the opportunity to try a lot of different types of dishes and foods, right? and I
Well,
should make the best use of it. So I've in fact made it as an agenda for Flavio to make sure that I try everything else.
well, too bad because next time we're going to Anjapar Chettinad.
I mean, the main takeaway from this podcast has been Satish loves food, South Indian food, and road trips.
Certainly, yeah.
Amazing.
Fair enough.
All
Yeah.
right.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Thanks so much, Satish, for coming
Thanks.
on and taking your time to chat with us. I mean, definitely now South India is one
on
of
the
my
map. It's on the map.
yeah, definitely on the map for me, especially. I'm sure other people hear about it, and
Yeah.
we have dinner plans now. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't.
Probably there are many other beautiful places and many other interesting things that I probably couldn't
Yes.
cover in the conversation. So, but if you ever have to make a plan, do let me know. I can make a best plan for you if you ever plan to travel to South India.
There you go. If anyone needs a
Awesome.
tour guide in South
So,
India, contact.
we have one.
No, but
Awesome.
it's awesome. Thank you so much, Satish. Really
Thank
interesting.
you.
then, yeah,
Thank
it's
you
been a great conversation. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the last hour chatting with you guys.
Thanks, Satish. And thanks,
Take
everyone.
care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank
Bye.
you for having me. Bye.